I'll be talking about.
Yes.
What do you got?
We got THR with an article. This long in development, Christian. We know Masters of the Universe has been in development since forever,
right.
And it's over at Sony right now, and they are looking at it. It might be. They're worried about it. They're going to put. They're looking for franchises, new franchises at Sony, but they're worried about Masters not doing too well in theaters. So they're looking to possibly sell it. Preliminary talks right now to Netflix.
So they would make it and then sell it?
They would make it, but it would be they would be making it exclusively for Netflix.
Why?
Because they would get a fat paycheck right now
Right.
For the rights. Netflix would
And the
then-
budget, right?
And the budget, everything.
Yeah.
And then it would go just right on Netflix.
Well, they're not getting the budget.
But if it's a
because
big hit, if it's a big hit, then that would be bad news if it didn't go through. Or what I'm trying to say, if it ends up being, and you can't really tell if it goes to Netflix. But the idea they're mulling how much they could make in theaters versus Netflix. Sorry,
Which is kind of baffling. It's just what it shows is what we've always said. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what. Sony definitely doesn't know what to do with this property.
No.
At all. So now they're just kind of panicking, and now they're going to Netflix.
What's your expertise? What's your advice on this? What do you think that they should do if you're advising?
Sell it to another studio. I know they won't. Sell it to another studio.
Like
Get
who?
it out of your hands.
Warner Brothers?
I can see Warner Brothers.
It's got you got to. I would say even if it could have been Sony, if you have the right executive that knows what to do with it. The problem is the second they start going, well, we got to make it like Thor Ragnarok. No, you don't. It's what you need to try to do is you need to find the right person that understands the magic, the fantasy part, the lore, that can get back into that 2002 series, that understands what the trilogy could be and how you can maneuver it into an actual sci-fi fantasy property.
When you say the right person, do you mean the right director, or do you mean
First,
the right?
first is producer and executive.
Okay.
That's number one. Because if their agenda or if their idea, because look, I talked to David Goyer when I was doing the Vader. Was it Vader Immortal? When I was talking about him, and he just from the direction he wanted to go with it. He had the right idea. The science meets magic, this fantasy sci-fi, the Star Wars meets Lord of the Rings. He was on board. They didn't want to give him enough money. They didn't understand. They wanted to make it a little more campy. That's not what he wanted to do, so he moved on.
Why don't they do a series? Do you think?
I think a series could definitely work, but I just don't think they understand the property at all.
Well, Netflix now, that's right, has Kevin Smith's
Right.
series for
And
animated Masters.
that's probably why exactly how this whole thing happened.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
you know what they need to do, to answer your question, for what I feel? They need to look at this not as a toy
That's
mythology.
what they're doing. Or going into the 80s cartoon,
Right.
which is that because that was the most popular
take
one,
it
so that's
seriously.
what they're looking at.
Just
yes.
take it seriously. Look at the mythology. Get out of your head, and
Yeah.
they can't.
It
I get
spawned
it.
from Conan. It spawned from and turned. It was a dark kind of comic book that then went to the toys and then turned into the show in the 80s and was a campy kind of fun show. And I love the campy 80s show. But then it was the 2002 version that made me realize, holy shit, this could be Lord of the Rings meets Star Wars. It really could be.
Just take it completely seriously.
But they're not.
Like Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, where it's all in universe and it's high stakes and serious and taking dramatic moments, all these things. They look at toys, Manny faces turning its head, Orko walking around, and
as opposed to making it like
and they go, oh well, we got to make it like light and fluffy and
kids.
You can
Kids.
and you can also there can be a lighter tone to it. But you can still. I don't know. I still don't think this is any saving grace, Roxy. If you're asking that, as far as like what Sony's doing, Sony's still making the movie, and they have no idea what the fuck they're doing with it.
Well,
so
they also, listen. They always say Star Wars is for kids, right? Every time somebody does this thing, whatever, Star Wars is for kids. Yeah. Lord of the Rings, kids like, but it's clearly like not really for kids. Like it's kind of a darkish thing, but it's
like 12 and up.
Yeah,
13 and up.
12, 13.
Yeah.
I mean,
What's a kid anyway?
Yeah.
Right. So like at 10 years, I feel like at 8, 9, 10 years old, like my niece right now, she's 8 or 9, whatever. Sorry, that was the easiest soundbite of all time.
Really waiting for it.
Yeah, and that video was for her, which is crazy. Anyway, she understands this stuff. I think she would either dislike or like Master Universe, but a boy at that age would love this. At Masters Universe, if what you're talking about is Lord of the Rings means friggin' Star Wars.
Yeah, it's just I think about Lord of the Rings.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
Why would a girl not love it as much as a boy?
Well, I mean, it's meant for dudes. It's like every dude had He-Man, Master of the Universe thing, and then there was She-Ra, Princess of Power. It was the other thing. Don't go all woke culture on me. This was like
I'm not trying to.
dudes.
That's why
Okay?
I literally wanted you to explain what you meant.
It was like
because-
He-Man was meant for the dudes, She-Ra was meant for the girls, and they came together. I mean, I'm sure there's girls that'll love this stuff, but what I'm saying is like this He-Man was for all the dudes. Every dude loved He-Man. It was a dude thing. You see these dudes fighting about it. Like, what girl have you ever met?
You have an 8-year-old daughter. What do you think?
I think she would. My daughter loves the fantasy and sci-fi. She would love it.
Yeah.
But
And there's
I know
characters in that story, Tila, that can appeal to the
Yes.
there's
There
a bunch
will-
of
I
characters.
think you make
She-Ra,
characters-
introduce her into the mythology.
I know where
somewhere.
you're coming from. It was made. I mean, that was the show little boys watched for sure. But I think there's, like Riley said, there are things inside of and especially today, they would make sure, like Tila and the other, and Evil Lynn, and there'd be
Evil Lynn,
characters in there.
Sorceress.
I think there'd be characters in there for both, for sure.
Do you think that's what they're going for? What demo do you think that they're going for?
I have no idea what they're going for, to be honest.
This is a
I have no idea.
four-quadrant
Again.
movie. This is a
Yeah.
four-quadrant. This is for families. This is for adults. This
I
is for
don't-
That's what they look for. The big studios, Star Wars, Lord of the
Yeah,
Rings.
they don't know. They
And
just
Take your
don't.
kids to see it, and you can enjoy it.
You can enjoy exactly, and there's action,
Yeah.
and
I
there's
just
and
don't
What are
there's
the 4 quadrants?
four quadrants. Like family, kids. What? I don't know. Let me look it up so I know.
It's just interesting to
Yeah,
me.
yeah. But anyway,
But I want the actual. It's like families, teenagers, adults, and
Grandparents?
60 and
I
up.
wonder if Kevin Smith can get involved at all with the live action side of it now that
That
it
would
is
get you
going.
excited? Do you think he gets it?
I don't know yet. I don't know. I got to see his animated series. I'm a fan of Kevin Smith. I understand. Like he's a guy that when he locks into something in his fandom, it could be great if he gets it. And I have confidence that I think that he could. But I haven't seen his property yet, too. And it's one of the and I'll be the first to admit it. When I was so excited, and I hate to keep pouring salt on this wound, when Rian Johnson was coming over for Last Jedi, I said, give him 9 before I even saw the movie. And I'll never do that again.
8?
Nice. But I'll never do that again because of those reasons. And I'm also not one of those people, because now the more and more I watch Last Jedi, I don't like it, that I'm like, Rian Johnson's out of my life forever. I am excited for Knives Out. I hope we see more from the stuff that he does. Like Looper, I thought was incredible. So it's just a matter of what. And the same could be said about Kevin Smith. I love Clerks. I love Mallrats. There's other certain movies of his I don't like, but he could do this movie and I could hate it. Or I could love it.
Does
and
that
say,
come out this